Okay, hello students. So the goal of this video is to show you how to take your numbers of the sun photometry experiment without ever having to look at the sun, and just generally how to use the apparatus here. And my main emphasis of this video is to show you indeed you can take your numbers without looking at the sun, because there is no other way. We never look at the sun, so either we don't look at the sun and take our data points, or we just don't do this activity. So I'm going to show you how to do it without looking at the sun, because did I already say before, we never look at the sun. Anyway, here are my two tubes. They came out, they're pretty solid, pretty happy with the way they came out. This one has my red LED all the way buried in there. This one has my blue LED in there. So I'll just put the blue LED aside for a minute because I don't really need it. We'll just do one at a time. So the way you start, of course, is you take the sort of the back side of one of your assemblies and you insert your voltmeter probes into it like that, and hopefully the bent over LEDs will hold the probes sort of in a solid way. And you can see mine's pretty solid here, definitely holds itself together, and there's enough tension in these LED leads here, that spring-like tension sort of to hold it. I don't have to like desperately clamp with my hands to get it to sort of stay assembled. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do to take my reading. I'm going to point this in the general direction of the sun, and I'm never looking at the sun, but what I know just from where I'm at, just from the areas, the sun is actually up that way. And so I'm sitting back this way, and the sun is like hitting my chest and is nice and warm and that kind of thing. But anyway, the sun is that way, and I can tell that without having to stare at it. You can see the shadow of that pole right there is another indicator that the sun is coming that way. So anyway, I'll just start sort of pointing my tube, and what you'll notice is you see the shadow of the tube right there? That means you don't quite have it oriented properly. You see the way the shadow is just moving around like that? But there is a particular orientation that when I move it, and watch this, if I move it like right around there, see the way the shadow just disappears? And it really has disappeared, like it isn't like it's just on the other side. I mean, there it is sort of popping up on the other side, but if I back off again, it disappears again, and maybe comes over to that side. But see, that's all you do, is you work your tube. I'll just sort of hold it by the cardboard now. You work your tube until you get that shadow to disappear. Like, not there, not there, not there, nope, 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 but right around there. The shadow's just gone. And when the shadow disappears, that is your physical argument for you have pointed your tube directly at the sun. So I'll just sort of maintain that, and you can wiggle it around a little bit if you want, but now if I sort of bring my voltmeter in, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I wiggle it around, and I just can't seem to find a number higher than about 2 if I point it directly at the sun like that, with the shadow disappearing. I have not looked at the sun one time, but getting about 2. And I know if I start walking off that orientation like this, see my voltmeter is dropping to 1.3 and even something really close to 0. So there you go, bang, right there, back again, right to 2, pointed directly at the sun. And that's all you have to do. So I would write down the time of day I'm taking this measurement and the 2, and I am done. And just to repeat the measurement then, you can swap one of your assemblies out for the other assembly. So this is the one that I set aside that has the blue LED in it, and you would just repeat the measurement. Same way here. It's kind of awkward to juggle all this with the camera, but there, make my shadow disappear right there again, and I'm getting about 3.4. So see, a much different number than with the red, but that's okay, and yours may be different too, but that's sort of what I'm getting. So I'm getting some different effect by pointing both the red and the blue LED directly at the sun. So I'll just sort of conclude now, and you see I've never once looked at the sun, but that shadow disappearing is a very nice clue for making sure that you have your tube pointed directly at the sun. This would be wrong, that would be wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, but right in here, something like that, there you go right there. Shadow disappeared, and this tube is pointed directly at the sun, and that's sort of my signal for that. So that's sort of what the tubes are for, to make sure that when you have it pointed like this, it's a clue the shadow disappears, and B, you know when that happens that you must be getting rays that are coming directly from the sun, not say some clouds or reflecting off the ground or anything like that. So there you go. That's how the data is taken. If you sort of think about it a bit, it's a very quick and efficient process, and I hope you did a good job building your devices. And that's about it. That's how you take data using your sun photometry tubes without looking at the sun.